start by saying the problem isn't that service members buy homes. Of course they should. The problem is that a lot of service members buy without thinking about what happens when the next PCS comes. So if you're military and you're buying a home here in the Onslow County, Camp Lejeune, Cherry Point area, there's something I always encourage these people to think about early, and that's what happens when you leave. Because PCS orders come, sometimes in 3 years, sometimes even sooner than that. And when that happens, that home becomes either something you keep and rent out as an investment property or that you sell. So when you're thinking about buying when you first get here, it's worth thinking about, what do you plan on doing with it when you leave? So decide early. Do you want to rent it out? Do you want to resell it? Some buyers know that they want to keep it as a rental. They know that going in. Others know that they're going to sell when they leave. Maybe they don't want to be landlords or not in that financial position. And that's okay if you don't know. But thinking about both possibilities helps you make better decisions now, what home you buy now. Because not every home makes a good future rental, and not every home is equally easy to resell. So if you're likely to keep the home and rent it, I've shown a lot of rental homes over the years, and renters who are paying good money still want a home that feels real clean and cared for. They want to come home after working all day and relax. They don't want walls covered in patch marks or really bold paint colors that they just don't want to live with. They want something that feels comfortable to come home to. So when you're buying, it helps to think about things like keeping paint colors neutral, keeping touch-up paint stored and labeled to avoid highly personalized finishes. Back in the day, I used to do sponge painting. I would avoid that now. Small things make it easier to maintain the home and rent it out later. Now, if you're likely to do the opposite, if you're likely to sell, then resale appeal matters. So you want to look at things like the layout of the home, the floor plan, the overall presentation of the home, especially if you're in an area that still has new construction going on, because you are going to have to compete with that new construction home to sell your home. So you want something that's going to be competitive in a few years. So these choices that you make when you PCS here to Camp Lejeune, Cherry Point, is to understand what you might have to do with the home when you leave and what works best for you financially. So in a military market, the smartest buyers aren't just thinking about moving in, they're thinking about moving out someday too. And planning for that early gives you more options later. If you're PCS into the area, you come to Camp Lejeune, Naval Air Station, Camp Geiger, Cherry Point, give me a call. Let's talk about what your likely plans are and how best we can look for a home that fits not only you today, but you in the long term and rewards you financially as much as possible. Now, I'm not saying you can't personalize your home and have a well-decorated home. It's just something you need to take into consideration, because even though it's your home and you want to feel comfortable in it now, it is a very large and often the largest financial investment you'll make in your life. And I'm sure you want to get a return on that, whether you rent it out or whether you resell it. No one likes to lose money. So keep these things in mind if you want to do something very unique to your home. Maybe you want paint carpet. Maybe you get an area rug instead of buying all new paint carpet. We can talk about that. We can talk about what's the best financially to maybe even buy a resale home and maybe do some improvements and make some equity. Or if you just want to go in the new construction, we can talk about that as well. What new construction neighborhoods might be the best for resale value in a couple years.